Hey there. Today I'm going to instruct you on how to perform a bilateral upright row. So all you really need for this is either some sort of a resistance band with a handle, or I really like the cable pulley machine. I want the cable at about the same height as my rib line, or like right around where your nipple is. Okay, I'm going to stand with my feet underneath my hips, and then one hand is going to be on the handle, the other hand is going to be by my side at about 90 degrees. My straight arm is going to be turned down, all right? And then I want you to lock in your legs, lock in your core. You're going to slowly reciprocate your arms. One arm pulls, one arm pushes. That's it. All right, maybe after my last rep, to make it a little bit harder, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hold the position. So I'm going to pull and push. I'm going to pin my elbow to my side, and then I'm going to reach this hand a little bit further and breathe. Then I'll come out of it. Now, a lot of times what people are going to start to do is they're going to be pulling from their hip. All right? So I want to try and stabilize and fix the pelvis as much as possible. So I'll take a block and I'll put it between my client's legs, sometimes even their ankles. This is going to encourage me to start to engage my adductors, which is going to then create a little bit more of an anchoring of the pelvis in space, so that I'm not going to be rotating so much with my pelvis, putting unnecessary shear forces on my low back and SI joint. So I'm going to put the block here, I'm going to perform the same movement, and then what I'm going to think about doing is kind of finding a little bit more of a neutral position in my low back and my spine. Because if I pull, so here's the thing with neutral spine is like, yes, in the world, the second I move, I lose the neutral spine most of the time. But if I exercise in my native pattern, I'm probably going to create more friction and more of an inflammation response in my body. So what I mean by that is like you go to a more neutral position because that way you're taking yourself out of your native pattern. So you're going to actually train your body in a position that it typically doesn't always work in. And then you're going to kind of balance out the overuse, underuse muscle patterns in your body. Because, I mean, like, for me, for example, I have a hyperlordotic curve in my back. I have a strong anterior tilt. If I just continue to exercise and do this specific exercise under those pretenses with that posture, I might actually, again, just use the same muscle patterns that I'm already using in my day-to-day life. When I'm walking around, when I'm instructing people, when I'm working on somebody's body, for example. Whereas if I take the moment to kind of find that spinal and structural integrity, which for me is going to be more of a posterior tilt, so my pubic bone is coming up, my low back is flattening, I'm moving my head back in space. This makes a lot more sense for me to perform these exercises in, because it's going to help, again, redistribute some of the load to the muscles that are more dormant in my day-to-day pattern, and it's also going to allow the muscles that are overly active in my daily posture to relax and step out of the picture a bit. So anyways, that's the first thing, is like when you're doing this yourself or you're doing it with a client, you want to make sure that you're finding some sort of a more neutral position, or basically training yourself in the range of motion that is not too comfortable for you. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to perform a couple of bilateral upright rows. So I have the block between my thighs. I'm going to do my other arm. Okay, I'm engaging on the block. I'm trying to get my glute max to also engage. I'm pressing my heels down, apart, and out. Here I go. Nice and simple. You'll notice whichever arm is straight, the palm faces down, okay? So I pronate as the arm extends. And all that's going to do is help create a little bit of rotation in the shoulder capsule, the glenohumeral joint capsule. So try this one at home. It's a really good exercise to encourage an uprightedness and kind of get rid of some of that overuse, rounded shoulder, forward head posture tendencies that we see a lot. So thanks for watching.